The 2012 Metzeler National Superstock 1000 Championship in association with Black Horse. The first round winner at Brands Hatch with Keith Farmer on his Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki, ahead of Steve Brogan's BMW, Jason O'Halloran Honda, Adam Jenkinson for Padgett's Honda finished fourth ahead of Jimmy Storer, Gary Johnson in sixth place, Connor Cummings making his increasing comeback in seventh for Taiko Suzuki ahead of Freddie Russo, Victor Cox and Lee Costello. 11th place for Johnson, 12th Mainwaring, 13th Hudson Kenner, 14th Josh Day and 15th place for Metcalf. The starting grid at Thruxton, round 2 of the Metzeler National Superstock 1000 Championship. David Johnson on pole position ahead of Jonathan Railton on the in-moto course Kawasaki. Third place for Steve Brogan's build-based BMW, and then Jason O'Halloran on the Samsung Honda rounds out the front row. Howie Mainwaring heads up row 2 ahead of Victor Cox, Keith Farmer and Hudson Kenner. Adam Jenkinson on row 3 alongside Freddie Russo, Danny Buchan, runner-up here in this race last year, and Lee Costello. Connor Cummins on row 4 alongside Gavin Hunt, Joe Dickinson and Cody Nally. The lights prepare to go out for the 2012 Metzeler National Superstock 1000. Second round here at Thruxton. A brilliant start for Jason O'Halloran. The Australian plummets into the... Oh, and has a big moment as he keels round the right-hander at Allard's. And that just loses him a bit of drive and costs him the lead.
Someone's down.
Oh, and we got a big high-speed fall. Wow. How did that happen? That was a big off coming through Allard's, which is a kind of left-hand drive as you come onto this main complex through the right, left and right, and then out into the country. And already one or two big moments happening for these guys as they go across the undulations and out into the country.
Yeah, because it may look warm with the sun out, but it's actually quite cold out there, so they're just having a little bit of a problem with the tyre temperature there. And
we've had a big off. Where did that happen? Wow.
I wonder whether he's just got clipped there. It's a very, very unusual place to go down. It's just a little kink, so he must have come together with another rider.
The lights out on the safety car. So the safety car will be coming in this lap, and look at the bunch up at the back. Brogy is just backing them all up into a great snarling pack.
Yeah, and as he can do, he's completely in charge. Now the secret is no one can overtake until they get to the start-finish line. So
but where does he want to start to get his drive? Like now or when he comes out of here?
Well,
now.
Yeah. I mean, he's done it one way. I'd have jammed everyone up in the chicane and then got going, but we're off again.
Wow, and now he's just got barely a half a dozen bikes length over Jason O'Halloran, who has David Johnson right in behind him on the pale blue Carbon Tech BMW. At the front, Brogan.
Yeah, and Danny Buchan was having a good look. Yeah, he's gone through to third. Danny Buchan second as well. Oh, no, no. Was just, no, he hasn't. Sorry, the leader's just edged ahead. It's misleading that picture.
It's actually Howie Mainwaring who's trying to sneak one on Danny Buchan. They're everywhere. David Johnson sits up Jason O'Halloran as they exit the right-hander at Seagrave and go out into the country. And look at Buchan. He's a tall, strong 6-footer, the lad from Burnham-on-Crouch in Essex on that black machine. And he's wrestling it round. Wow! And Moo's being pulled down here. That was Mainwaring just seeing off O'Halloran.
It was indeed, and what they've got to be careful of, because Brogan just had the little jump on those early laps, and again he's trying to get going now. You could see Buchan really trying to get going with him, and also Johnson. Because Johnson...
And I think... Oh, what is Howie Mainwaring up to? Absolutely Speedway style as he went round Church, and it's worked. As he goes down Woodham Hill, he's actually going to grab that third place.
Well, I tell you what, that was a hairy moment, because his tyre isn't quite up to temperature there, and he had it sideways. It's about 110 mile an hour coming out of there. Span it up, and it was a beautiful bit of riding.
It's Keith Farmer. No wonder he doesn't mind it being sideways. It's the ex-Irish Supermoto champion, Keith Farmer, there on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki, who was completely sideways at ballistic pace through Church, and he's burst through into fourth place. He's right behind David Johnson now. Brogan, Johnson and Farmer.
Yeah, Farmer absolutely superb at the opening round. Oh!
That was a big moment, and I think that was for Howie Mainwaring. Can we ask these lads to paint their bikes different colours, do you think?
Yeah,
the distinctive David Johnson on the Carbon Tech BMW is second place. Ahead of him, build-based BMW, and that is Steve Brogan. Behind him, we have number 303, Keith Farmer, winner at
Now, what's the fourth bike in the picture? Just getting it on there, and again, as we say, the tyres are just coming into temperature now, so just trying to press on, and around it came.
On the 6th lap of 15, Steve Brogan still leads. Look at Farmer again. Oh, he's almost been put on the grass by David Johnson as he tried to power around the outside. But again, he's got to hang on to this as he comes under pressure from Mainwaring on the brakes. He holds that inside line, but Howie tries to lever him out. Farmer, 303, stays put behind number 20, David Johnson.
Well, it was Harry Mainwaring that lap that spat out of church. He just had a beautiful slide. Didn't even have to watch the fourth bike in the picture. Look at that. Lovely, just spins it up, gets it sat down on the rear, and then it's so tight, those three. Johnson, and look at that, Farmer actually on the dirt.
Wow, Johnson really squeezed him out.
Here comes Keith Farmer.
Then. Keith Farmer now moving into second place, easy as you like, slices his way through on the entrance there to Campbell Corner. Round Cobb, onto Seagrave and out.
That's O'Halloran.
And I think O'Halloran's gone down.
No, sorry,
it's Elliott. Joshie Elliott, the teenager from Northern Ireland, has gone out. Howie right on the back of David Johnson, but just look for the lead changing possibly here. Look at Farmer, a rush past.
Oh, he's got to be too hot.
He's surely gone too wide.
Too hot.
Whoa! And now he's got to go back through. Now he's not got to lose any positions here. He can go second. Yeah,
he can't lose any positions, and he can't gain any time as well. That's the other thing. He's not allowed to gain any time either. So if you give your position back.
So he's slotted back perfectly where he was before, so that looks pretty...
Just miles too hot there, you know. And
but look at the way he saved it with a bit of serious braking and drifting. Now, Farmer not quite as close to Brogan and deciding just to take it a little easier as he goes into the club chicane.
Oh, he's made a mistake there. It's cost him a lot of time. Farmer's going to get him on the start-finish straight.
And what mistake did Brogan make then? It did cost him time, dearly, because here comes his teammate now alongside him, Mainwaring. But Mainwaring doesn't like to lift up his teammate, so he remains in third place as they burst back into the sunlight. Keith Farmer leads the way for the Paul Bird Motorsport Kawasaki team. No, here comes Brogy.
And he's going to have the line for this one. Farmer's going to cut back up the inside. Who's going to get the line for here? It's Brogy again.
How can this not be live television? Farmer and Brogan had absolutely hammer and tongs at the front. Farmer's back in as they cut through there at Seagrave through Noble. Oh, this is fabulous riding. Mainwaring, Johnson, Cox, Jonathan Railton, who didn't start well from the front row of the grid, has come through the 6th place ahead of Adam Jenkinson. O'Halloran back to 8th, Buchan surprisingly back to 9th for CN Racing Honda.
But Jenkinson, he's moving up now, he's in 7th spot, and this top 9 all within 1.7 seconds, so an amazing race going on here. Oh, and look at that, look at Howie Mainwaring in 3rd spot. He's getting a really good tow, he might pop up the inside.
Now, can the Kawasaki hang on to the BMWs down here? No, Brogan drafts himself past and back into the lead. Oh, and Howie just got himself a bit trapped on the inside there, and it cost him a bit of drive through the chicane. Howling past again, and again Keith Farmer just letting that back end loosen up on his Kawasaki. But look, he's again looking as they go through Allard. He was thinking about getting himself poised on Brogan's shoulder for this right-hander. Brogan and Farmer, they must be enjoying this. They were the people who finished 1st and 2nd at Brands Hatch. They currently lead the championship.
Yeah, Brogan, the ex-champion, sort of coming back to try and do it. And Keith Farmer, the youngster, who's just, well, he was one of the finds last year in Superstock, but he's been so impressive so far. A bit like Danny Buchan last year.
Look at this, just dives through the inside there, as if for a split second Brogy's going backwards. Oh, Howie Mainwaring, the Essex-based Cheshireman, taking a huge risk on the second of those field-based bikes.
Well, I just can't believe how again, we're watching around here. Every day he's got a slightly wider line than everyone else, spins it up there, and he just seems to get that drive, but he's got a really good run this time. He's going to go past Brogan, I'm sure.
Now, as we come down Woodham Hill once more.
Can't quite do it.
Farmer has, Farmer nearly tickles the back wheel. He goes through. So Farmer's there. 2nd place for the 3rd place for the 2 build-based BMWs. Ooh, and a moment there, big moment for Brogan, number 17. Johnson, Cox, Railton, O'Halloran, Jenkinson, Buchan are the top 9, and Hunt in 10th place, number 4.
That top 9 covered by 1.7 seconds. You can't believe it. And that the top 6 within a second. BMWs v Kawasaki's.
And Farmer, look, Farmer has
And
just
on.
somehow opened up 4 or 5 bike lengths as they go out into the country once more here at this magnificent former Second World War airfield.
Now, it's hard to break away on this track, though.
Gavin Hunt working hard on the second of the CN Racing bikes, the black Fireblade there, to try and close down that front 9. But he's just isolated there, the Lee Costello and Jimmy Storer. But here we go, bucking and weaving their way around here. There's number 11, Adam Jenkinson, a man who was making huge strides right at the start of the British Superbike season. Mainwaring again, round the outside of his teammate Brogan, completely and utterly sideways, lethal riding, and Howie's on it.
I tell you though, that's amazing, Jack. He's doing it every lap. I've never seen anyone slide so consistently around that corner. I mean, he's got a wide line, he's on the side of the tyre for a little bit longer because he's got that wide line, but he's doing it every lap. I mean, it's incredible skill round there. Watch the man in third spot, the wide of the 2 pitches, watch his rear now. Remember, this is well over 100 mile an hour, and he's a big fat black lane.
Look at the tall man, Victor Cox, going wide there.
Yeah, behind him, Jonathan Railton as well. He's having a good ride.
Oh, and this time Mainwaring goes for the inside line and cuts right across the front of Farmer, then gets himself into a bit of a mess and almost unsettles his teammate. Brogy gets the drive though and gets himself over. That cost Howie.
Yeah, he did. He just obviously got it too much, and the point was he had to back off the throttle for the first time, and that cost him the run all the way. But look, that's also closed everyone up.
What a wonderful race. Look at that sight as they just cock it through the club chicane. And again, Farmer with air under the front wheel of that Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki pulls 0.4 of a second, amazingly, as they cross the line.
Yeah.
But the BMWs are after him.
He's hard to make that break now. Watch the man, the really wide man in the picture, Harry Mainwaring, just gets it too much there, and it's a bit of an unorthodox line, but until then it's been working for him. And Brogy round the outside.
Oh, and that was Howie Mainwaring had got round the outside of Brogan, tried to do the same to Farmer. Farmer knows now he's got both the BMWs to deal with under braking at Woodham Hill. Ooh. Into the club chicane. He cuts across and governs the line into the corner, and Brogan lifts up Howie. Howie loses his outside footrest. He's back to third.
And Johnson and Cox in the background as well. They were swapping places
look
as well.
Look at this. Cox.
And O'Halloran's going up the inside of the back.
And we're on to the 14th of 15 laps. This is the penultimate lap of this harem-scarum Superstock 1000 Championship race. There's Victor Cox, just ahead of O'Halloran.
And what a fantastic race this has been, Jack. Absolute cracker, and it's not over yet.
So Farmer had, 0.6 of a second. That's almost a giant lead from Brogan, Mainwaring. Cox now fourth. Oh, and David Johnson there getting muscled past by Jonathan Railton, I think.
Well, a lap and a half to go. Whew.
Now then, this is where it's going to matter at the front, because once again, Brogan is going to try and assault the front-running Farmer on his Kawasaki.
He has, though. Brogan looks good. The question is, though, can he outbrake Farmer at that last chicane? He's got to get up the inside, coming out of this corner here, Church, and you probably don't want to do it on this lap, but Farmer looks so good in the brakes coming, this next section. This is what Brogan's got to do. Build, position himself to the inside, but Farmer's good out of Church, and he's good into here. And again, he's got a defensive line there. Brogan round the outside
and makes it work.
Whoa. Brogy, wow.
So Brogan, build-based BMW, former national Superstock champion 3 years ago, just tears it up round the outside. But look at Farmer's ability to cut it tight and get the drive down. Just gets cut off as they go through Allards now.
Now this is the last lap of the race. Brogan in the lead, Farmer right behind him. Mainwaring's still there as well. This is the move round the outside. I thought he might go a little bit wide, but he held it on line and kept the run.
And look at this, Brogan in the lead on the final lap. Keith Farmer, though, looking for those alternative lines on the Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki as they head out into the country once again.
You see, it was a big gamble for Brogan to do that in the last lap. Some people say you don't want to lead out Church on the last lap because it allows other people to cover. But the one advantage he has got is if he thinks he can get out Church well and hold that inside line, forcing Farmer to the outside. But it's going to come down to that last corner, Jack.
And Howie Mainwaring still in there as well as he bucks and weaves his way round Church. Now Farmer, can he line something up? He's got to be pretty close to Brogan. And Howie Mainwaring was trying to cut to the inside inside this time as Keith Farmer takes it tight. Oh, a huge moment for Howie, and Farmer's tight line did work. Now he's got the advantage again. This time, can Brogan get close enough to go searing round the outside again? Farmer has the line covered on the inside. Farmer's looking good. He backs the ball in, and Bogey's touched his back wheel. Bogey just bumps the back wheel of Keith Farmer as they drop into the final chicane, and the Liverpudlian gets dropped off, and it's Farmer who takes the lead. Mainwaring takes second place. O'Halloran third ahead of Cox. Jonathan Railton, David Johnson sixth. What drama. Keith Farmer looks round wondering where Brogy's gone, but Brogy, well, they just all shuffled up. I hope Brogy's unhurt. He's certainly been as fit and well as he's ever been after his winter of training. And the father-to-be just gets it wrong on the entrance to the chicane.
Just a bit too tight. He expects Farmer to touch the throttle. He doesn't.
Ooh, that was a heavy fall.
It was indeed. That's a... What a shame, because it's been such a good race. Brogy didn't deserve that, but it was just a racing incident. Obviously, in the past, maybe he'd have picked that up, got it going, but he can't now with the new rules, and that's that. But what a race, and well done, Keith Farmer. 2 in a row.
So Keith Farmer, 24 years old, and he takes his second successive victory in the 1000cc Superstock Championship. The second round of the Metzeler National Superstock 1000 Championship. Keith Farmer takes victory to back up his rain-soaked victory at Brands Hatch from Howie Mainwaring in second for the build-based BMW team. Jason O'Halloran, Samsung Honda third. Victor Cox's Kawasaki fourth ahead of the similar machine of Jonathan Railton. David Johnson's Carbon Tech BMW runs sixth ahead of Adam Jenkinson's Pagic Honda. The CN Racing Honda of Danny Buchan eighth ahead of teammate Gavin Hunt. Lee Costello in 10th. 11th place Freddie Russo ahead of Connor Cummins, Danny Johnson, Gerard Kingan and Jonathan Dickinson rounding out the top 15, and point scorers ahead of Leon Hunt, John O'Howarth, Dan Neen, Metcalf and Stewart. The dramatic conclusion to that race means that Steve Brogan is hooked back down in 5th place on just 20 points from Brands Hatch. Keith Farmer has doubled his tally, 50 points, handsome lead ahead of Jason O'Halloran in second, Howie Mainwaring third, Adam Jenkinson now fourth in the championship ahead of Brogan and Cox, David Johnson seventh ahead of Freddie Russo, Connor Cummins and Lee Costello, 11th place Jonathan Railton and Jimmy Storer ahead of Gary Johnson, absent on World Endurance duty with Honda, Danny Buchan, Gavin Hunt, Dan Johnson, Hudson Kenner, who we sincerely hope is going to be all right after his prang, Josh Day, Gerard Kingan and Metcalf in 20th.
So Jason, when the pace car came out, you're in second place, looked like you had it in hand. You could see Brogy just in front of you, but after that it turned into a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, as soon as the safety car went in, I thought, oh, perfect, me and Brogy are going to get away and we'll be able to race our own race. But first lap, I just got every single corner, someone come up the inside of me, and I was struggling a little bit for rear grip on the entry. So when they passed me, I couldn't fight back. Basically to let everyone settle down and just sort of peg me way back through. The Honda was working great and the speed of it was good as well here. Passed a few of the other guys down the back straight, which I was surprised about. But we just struggled a little bit for grip, and we come away with the podium, so more points on the board. Early days in the championship, so we're all looking good.
That is the name of the game. It's worth pointing out to everybody at home as well that you are absolutely bunged up with a raging head cold. We'll let you go and get the Lemsips down you, but very well done on the third place.
No worries, thank you very much, and thanks to Samsung Honda, all my personal sponsors. Team's great, personal sponsors are great, and looking forward to a good year.
Well done, mate. Off you go. Right, our second place finisher then, Howie Mainwaring Howie Mainwaring Smart. Thank you. Listen, you were the wild man of that race. Massive slide. Was it as fun to be a part of as it was to watch?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was on the Bill-based BMW. I've had to adapt a little bit to smoothen out a little bit, but I don't think...
Hang on, no, it might have been that. Smooth out?
Yeah. I thought that was a lot calmer and smoother for me, but obviously you lot think a little bit different now. The BMW is working really well, and I've had to adapt a little bit after breaking my back and stuff. I've had to learn to adjust my hips and stuff, but it seems to be going on now and working really well, and the team's worked really hard, and BMW themselves and Tony Jakeman have really believed in me, and I'd like to thank a big thank you to them. So now we just keep pushing away. I seem to have done this a time or two now, so in the early stages, with a bad run at Brands, and just time to, hopefully the championship will start from here now for me.
Well, for me, that was one of the bravest rides I think I've ever seen. Very well done.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank my personal sponsors, Paul Walker and Walker Signs. So thank you very much.
So we're going to our second place finisher. Now, our race winner, Keith Farmer. Now, what a wild man. You look like you were slowing them up into the chicane on previous laps. Tell us about the collision with Steve.
Yeah, it was good. I just saved me tire the whole way along, and I knew I was braking a wee bit earlier, but he kept running deep in turn, and he made a mistake coming out of church, and I knew he was going to have a run on me, so I felt him leaning, and I just leant on him, and as soon as I felt it light, I lifted, and that was him gone. So, it was a racing accident, just more points for me in the bag. I just wanted to bring it home.
Earlier on in the race, you overshot the chicane yourself, went off track and then rejoined in the same place, so you didn't make an advantage. Was that in the back of your mind every time you got into the chicane after that?
I just felt the front moving a bit, so I played it cautious, I just rid my own race. I didn't worry about anyone else. That was the pace I had, so we were good.
Keith, another brilliant performance. Very well done. Off you go to the podium.
I just want to thank Paul Bird Motorsport just for giving me this opportunity. My mechanic Blandy, my dad that is homesick at the minute, my brother and Darren, and just my personal sponsors, D&GW, Apple, Armagh Cider Company and Rapid International. Big thanks to them.
Always remember the cider company. Well done, mate.